Hello, beautiful sunshines. Welcome to Now That's Love.
With your favorite mother-daughter duo, Ashlyn and
Janae LaFleur, where you get to know thyself, love thyself, and become the best version of self.
because the greatest love story that you are ever going to tell is the one you create with yourself every day.
Hello, everyone.
On our previous couple podcast, we talked about the physical, the ego, the mental of letting go. And Lordy, have we decluttered our houses, our brains. I've even recognized going back even on the ego. I'm like, got some work to do there still. It's gonna. Before we officially begin this podcast, though, I want to mention that we have a fun psychology test at the end of this that will show you where you really are mentally. Whenever my mom and I both did this test, it really shocked us. So make sure that you stay tuned to that. But we're going to hop into number 1 first of how you know you let go. So for me, it was the change in dreams. So if you're having dreams that just tornadoes and chaos and beating people up, I've been there. I used to have such violent dreams of especially people that have hurt me in the past. And it was just my subconscious letting me know, hey, you're still healing. You're still a little bit hurt from this. And whenever we started doing the letting go, I had a dream of my first boyfriend. And he hurt me in so many ways, mentally, physically, just everything. And I was like, I let this all go. But it came to me in a dream. It was very beautiful. I was able to step into how his life was like. I even just stepped into the emotions and the pain that he felt during his childhood. And I started packing up and leaving because in my dream, saying, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to leave you. I'm done. And he was standing there and he was very tall. And in my dream, he was very tall. And I thought he was going to maybe hurt me, hit me, but he stood there with his hands like in front of him. And he stood there and said, I understand. I understand why you're leaving, and it's okay. And it just shocked me. I was like, in my dream, I was kind of like set back a little bit. And basically, he said, these are the choices that he made in this lifetime, that he needed to walk this path because he had to play a part in my life. Like we've mentioned before, we're all movie characters in each other's life. We all put in different growing lessons, whether good or bad, into each other's life. And whenever I was able to see this full just vision and compassion and understanding for where he came from, I let him know, like, thank you. Like, thank you for being a part of my journey, my path that I needed to walk on. And before I had violent dreams about him, about friendships, and now my dreams have even let go of the hurt and the pain by showing me this is why this happened. They played a part. And I even had dreams of a previous friendship where she came to my door and I was like, da 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 da, just cussing her out. And then it snipped. The dream stopped. It's like my subconscious was like, no more of this. It's over. You've let this go. And it retold a different story in my brain in that dream that same night of me saying, it's okay. Thank you for teaching me about codependency. Thank you for teaching me about what my boundaries are in relationships. And it was me thanking them instead of being like, screw you, bitch. It was very beautiful that I was able to recognize this letting go in my dreams. And then also with sign number 2, it was a huge energy shift and our homes and our mental. With me decluttering, holy smokes, I felt like my creative self was able to explode out of me, and my I felt like my relationships were happier in the home, outside of the home, just a full energy swap.
Yeah. And number three is more spaciousness to think, and you start to recognize that you're creating more space for yourself of awareness. Like thoughts pop into your head. Are these my truth? Is this my truth? Is this something I really want to sit with? I mean, some things pop into my head. I'm like, really? I mean, I don't have time for this. Like, this is ridiculous. And you start to teach your brain that it is really truly nothing. It's not anything that you need to deep dive into or anything. And so you start to have this really special awareness. And with that, I have found as I am releasing the letting go of judgment of myself and not judging others. And
Mm-hmm.
this morning I had this little epiphany moment in the gym where I used to always wear jackets around me. And I had stories in my head, like I needed to like not have everybody looking at every part of like parts of my body and stuff. And I'm at a place like, who cares? Like, I'm just going to go in and enjoy my workout. I don't need to be extra hot or warm or whatever. And quite honestly, if I'm not judging myself and I'm not judging others, then you start to have that frame in your mind of that they're not probably judging you either. They really don't care. They're just doing their own thing too.
So
Maybe they're
true.
worried about you judging them or whatever, but there's a lot of freedom in that. And so the the awareness of self, of not judging, you have a lot more compassion for yourself, and you have a lot more compassion for others, and you have a lot more
Yeah,
love
because
for
the
yourself,
ego
and
is
you have a lot more
completely
love for
let
others.
go. Yep.
Yeah.
And then number 4 is a deeper intuition. So even just like I said with number 2 with the energy, my intuition got deeper with the creativity, and I was able to really start seeing things in a beautiful light. Things came to me quicker with my connection in life.
Yeah. And I would say in every single day, who am I? Um, what are my gifts? How am I meant to serve today? Like, what are my action steps just for today? That's it. And that is where the intuition of, oh, this is what's going to be for today.
Hmm.
It's beautiful, just being connected to that instead of
Yeah, it
thinking
was
maybe
the
too far in
present
the
moment.
future or going to the
Exactly.
past. Yeah.
I love that. I mean, you said the same thing, just different wording.
And number five was very, very special. And it literally happened only 2 weeks ago. Well, actually about 10 days ago, right? I was on a park table with these beautiful trees surrounding me by the lake. And I laid down to do an hour's breath work. And in the middle of it, I had used it going with a question, but I just said, I'm just surrendering. What do you want to tell me? What do you want to talk to me about? Is there anything that you're trying to tell me? And during that time frame, probably about 25, 30 minutes in, my spirit spoke very loud and clear, and it asked me a question. It said, why are you walking up to the mirror? Are you just saying to yourself that I am enough? And you say it so like you're trying to convince yourself that you're enough. And do you not understand the magnitude of the power that you are? You're a fractal of God. And so do you think that God is just enough? And I'm literally having this downloaded on me. And it's like, I'm seeing myself as an image of just like, oh, I'm enough. And it showed me that. And it said, listen, you are more than enough. You are actually way more than enough. And as you understand that and step into this belief, your light will shine even more, and you'll have even more love. You'll have more than enough money. You'll have more than enough love. You'll have more than enough health in your life, more than enough beautiful connections. You are more than enough. And if you understand
Hmm.
And that's like, Janae, do you understand that everything in this entire universe is energy? So if you're energy, and water's energy, and money's energy, and the tree's energy, it was just kind of showing me these things, these images, then there's always more than enough water. We've been sold into a system of a belief system that water scarcity, so that you have to go buy it at the store, heaven forbid. Like, we have oceans and lakes, and there's
Mm-hmm.
always going to be more enough water. And how this one scientist said it is like, listen, you need to understand that we're all tinkling, we're all peeing every single day, it's going down a water system. So as many 8 billion humans are like watering and it gets purified, and there's always going to be more than enough water. But they want to buy us into the system that there's not more enough water, there's not enough money, there's not enough love in this world, there's not enough. And that is a lie. It's not the truth. And so when you let go of the belief system of that you are way more than enough. I literally created 14 items on our shop that says I am more than enough. And
They're
a
so
few
cute.
a couple of them, like they're tank dresses and stuff, and there's others that say I'm more than enough. I have a couple that say I'm way more than enough. You can decide. But I just, that was a vision I was shown and to share with the world. And honestly, it was a shifter for me. Now my brain is wired. And every time I see things, even when I see water, I'm like, that's right. There's so much, there's more than enough. And if there's more than enough water, then there's more than enough money. And then there's more than enough love in this world. And I can expand and be as big as I can, be more than enough light. I can keep on being, you know, me, and not be fearful of that evolution of all of us. And so, just if this brings peace to your heart of understanding that so many people feel the scarcity of money, scarcity of this, scarcity of that, but we are fractals of the divine essence of all that is. And when you really feel that in your heart and understand that you're a light beam from the sun is showing up every single day. Sometimes it's behind the clouds, but it still shows up. God shows up every single moment of the day. The light is there, the moon and the sun, and we are the rays. That's the way you want to look at it. Just understand you are divine energy. And you can create whatever you want. And so when I was kind of going through this
Yeah.
thing, I guess my brain was trying to tell me, my spirit was trying to tell me, like, listen, Jane, don't fear these things.
Yeah.
Don't
Limiting
fear
yourself.
don't fear the limitations, the lack. And when I came out of it, I'm like, oh, wow, that was beautiful. And I'm going to share it with the world. But that was part of, I literally, that week is when I did the deepest cleaning I've ever done in my life as far as letting go. And in that
Mm-hmm.
meditation, I was shown the more than enough. So these are just signs, the 5 signs that
Well, I love
we have
too that
seen.
what you told me whenever I was letting go of just everything, all the things that we talked about, that it comes from a place of lack, whether it's feeling superior, insecure in your ego, the lack of feeling in your physical body, or feeling like you're more, even just the lack that of the clutter. It's kind of reverse psychology. I feel like, as we're about to hop into our psychology test, but I feel like it's the lack of that makes us hold more. And it takes up so much energy and space in our brains. And with that, it makes us have a lack of our intuition, our creativity. And when we're able to get rid of it, whenever I got rid of so much stuff, I love what you told me, because you're like, Ashlyn, what are you fearing whenever you're letting go of this stuff? And partially, part of me was like, I'm never going to have it, get it back. Oh, it was so expensive. I can't even imagine losing it. But you're like, you're more than enough. You have more than enough money to buy these things again. And it's things that have been sitting in my closet for 3, 4 years ever since we moved into the house and was collecting dust, like certain shirts, electronics that I didn't use, some of Malay's toys that I'm like, we don't need this. I don't even have the other parts to this. We can never use it again. And you were so right whenever you said that, because it hit a point in my brain that I was holding on to so many things with the concept of, that lack in my brain of,
like
oh my gosh, I'm
trying
never
to
going to
hold
be
on
able to
to.
have this again.
Yeah, I know. I when I was dropping some things off, I had my clients. I was leaving in the morning. I had my car full. This is my fourth carload, and I had a Louis Vuitton bag. And one of my clients like, "Are you seriously getting rid of that Louis Vuitton bag?" I'm like, "Do you want it?" Because I was just giving it to the women's center. Of course, she can have it. You know, that's wonderful. I mean, and she grabbed it, and it was so fun to give to her. And
Well,
I got
whenever
to
you
see it in
give
real
to a higher
person.
cause, it feels better. You're just like, wow,
Right.
I'm so blessed, and I'm grateful I'm able to share these blessings with other people that have gone through so many things just in this time period. I can't even imagine.
Yeah, it's fun to give. It's, oh my goodness, it's so much fun to give. Think about even Christmas, like it's
Yeah,
funner for me to give than to receive, actually. So
I
I mean, I
agree.
have a blast seeing everybody open their presents. So um Ashlyn's going to do the psychological test at this
Yes.
point. Get a pencil because you're going to be writing these things down,
Yep.
because then we'll
And a
give you
piece of
the
paper.
answers to them. Piece of paper and a pencil.
Yes, I love it because right now I feel like I'm about to like, all right, everybody, welcome to our
Ashlyn's
morning meeting.
Ashlyn's doing her teacherhood. Ashlyn's going to be the little teacher.
I was trained for this, everyone. No, I'm kidding.
She
So
gets to
go
use
ahead
her
and grab
skills.
it. Pause the video if you need to. This is going to be such a key point
Insight.
on where you've let go, maybe where you're holding on to. So let's get this show started, everybody. So, in the very beginning, I just want y'all to close your eyes until I ask the question because I feel like that helps you envision more. If you're driving, don't do that. Caution warning. Don't walk into a street, don't drive into anybody. So, these answers to these questions indicate the relevance to the values that you hold in your personal life. So, whether that's your ego, your physical, all the things we've talked about letting go. So, let's get into it, everybody.
And be real. Be honest with yourself right now. It's not, there's no right or wrong answer.
No, we're
Seriously.
not going to judge you. We can't even see your answers.
Right. It's honestly just good insight. And then 2 weeks from now, you can take the same test. Just go and
Yes.
come watch this
And
video
just
again.
whatever first pops into your brain, that's
Right.
what you write down. Don't think about
Yeah.
it. I'm going
Don't
to run through
overthink
this.
it.
I'm going to run through this pretty quick so you don't overthink it. Just the first thing, first name, whatever.
Yeah. Have fun with it. We had fun with it when we did it. We were real.
Picture yourself walking through a beautiful forest. The sun is out. There's a perfect breeze. It's just simply beautiful. Who are you walking with?
Write that down.
As you continue on in your walk through the forest, you come across an animal. Question number 2. What kind of animal is it? You come up to the animal. What does the animal do? You're walking deeper into the woods, and you come to a clearing. There's a house in the middle of the clearing. Question number 4. How big is it? Is it fenced in or no? So is there a fence around this house that
Yeah.
you have?
Number 5. Is there a fence or no?
Around your house. You walk up to the door of the home and it's open a bit. You enter and see a table. Describe what's on this table.
We'll give you a little bit longer on that one. Number 6. Describe what's on the table. What do you see on the table? Have fun with it.
All right. Pause if you need to. You finish looking around the house and leave out the back door. There's a huge lawn. In the center is a garden. In the garden, you find a cup. What is the cup made out of? What do you do with the cup? So go ahead and answer those 2 questions. As you walk to the end of the garden, You find yourself at a body of water. What kind of body of water is it? Is it a lake, river, ocean, pond? You must cross this water in order to get home. How wet do you get? All right, go ahead and wrap up your answers. And if you need to, go back a little bit, pause, whatever you need to do. But if you have completed, this is your answers to your questions. So we're going to start off with question 1. The person that you were walking with is the most important person in your life right now. Question number 2. The size of the animal you come across is a representation of the size of your problems. If your action was more severe, it means you tend to be more aggressive. If it was peaceful, then you're more passive. The size of the home is a representation of the size of your ambition. If there was no fence around your home, it means you tend to be more of an open person. If what you saw on the table wasn't food, people, or flowers, it indicates that you have some unhappiness in your life. How durable was that cup that you found? That's the representation of how strong your relationship is with the person that you were walking with in the first of the story. What you do with this cup is your attitude towards this person. So I gotta pause real quick on this because whenever I did this, I said my mom for question number 1. And as we were going through this all together, I pictured like a red Solo cup, like a beer pong cup. So I guess I look at you like a fun party person. we're just taking shots together, Mom. I'm kidding. Shots. The size of the body of water is related to the size of your sexual drive. I said ocean. Oh my god. Because you just find an ocean in the middle of the forest.
Now you got to walk across it.
Yeah, and we have high hopes. If you became very wet, it indicates that sex is important to you. If not very wet, it means it's less important. So I guess sex is pretty important to us with our big old body of ocean water, right, diving deep.
It's okay if it isn't at this point in your life for those that maybe did a stream bed.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
Maybe your focus is different right now. I feel like my mom and I are about to hop into some more podcasts, just getting our little freaks on with just more intuition and men and women and just the bond between men and women. So we'll talk about more of that later. But so that is the psychological test. So that just kind of helps you analyze where you're at. Don't take it too harsh, because I remember the first time I did it in the forest, I pictured like a wolf that was coming to attack me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I guess my problems are pretty bad.
So, Ashlyn, did you get the last question with how wet you got? What was the answer to that?
Oh, that's just how important sex is for you.
Okay.
So if you get really wet, it's very important. And if you don't get as wet, then it's not as important in your life right now. And that's completely fine.
Soaking.
Mm-hmm. Soaking wet, baby.
I was down in the ocean, huh? I was swimming the ocean.
So seriously, me too. I was like practically scuba diving in there.
Right.
Yeah, I love that test.
It might have been different. Right.
Oh yeah.
I probably didn't
I
have any water. I'm just kidding.
yeah, seriously. I remember doing that test in high school, and it was like a stream bed because I was just like, well, I don't care. Like,
Yeah, no, I've done that test before when it was that, and later on, way later on, I forgot what the answers were, and I
yeah.
did have a stream bed. So yeah, that's
But I
really
absolutely
interesting.
love that test so much. So, if you want to share your answers a little bit below, feel
Yeah,
free,
one
or
through
just
ten. Let's be the community.
let's keep it open here. I'm down for it. And also
We'll
just let us maybe even know signs how you've known you've let go. Have you lost some certain triggers? Have you noticed that your creativity or dreams have changed? We love hearing everything you have to say, or just
Yep.
something you want us to dive deeper into. We love it
Yeah.
because give us some ideas and some inspiration.
Yes. We're here for you. Thank you for your support and your love.
Yes.
Much love. Bye
Well,
bye.
see you on the next podcast.